Hello everyone and welcome back to another Amped update video. Today we're going to be taking a look at our new release for Amped Replay. In this video I'll take you through some of the new updates that you're going to find in the software. So the first new feature that we're taking a look at in Replay is the ability to unload timestamps. Here you can see that we've loaded a timestamp with this file and the frames per second has been adjusted in accordance to that timestamp. So the playback frames per second has been adjusted to 6.25. The reason we've added the ability to unload timestamps is because they are not always completely reliable or accurate, or could have some corruption issues with them, causing them to provide errors. So from this update, if you do come across a timestamp that you believe to be inaccurate or causing issues with the playback of your video, you'll now be able to go on and unload that timestamp and then carry on your work as normal. To unload it, we just click the drop down box and choose no. You'll see that after I've unloaded it, the frames per second playback speed has been adjusted to the default of 25 for the AVI container. So rather than changing the frames per second due to the timestamp, it's using the default container value. While we're on the topic of timestamps, I'd like to mention that a few of our users reported that in some cases, Replay was not adjusting the playback speed correctly. We found that this was an issue with certain type of timestamps, so we've improved the efficiency of calculating the playback speed from timestamps. It's important to note that not all timestamps will be complete, and in those cases you will get this message from Replay letting you know that there's an uneven amount of timestamps to frames in your video file. You can then choose to load or not to load the timestamp. And remember now, if we do load it, you've always got the option to unload it after. Another new feature that we've added to Replay is frame by frame audio playback. So previously, when you would skip forward or backwards a frame using either the previous frame, next frame controls, or the J and L shortcuts, you wouldn't hear the audio associated to those frames. However, now in this new update, when you use these keys, you'll be able to hear the audio for the frames you're skipping through. This is extremely important when you're trying to isolate certain audio within your video, for example, a gunshot, and you're trying to pinpoint that exact time and location. Next, we're going to move on to our Enhanced tab and take a look at the improvements we've made there. The first improvement we've made is with our crop tool. In the previous versions of Replay, you would not be given the width and the height of the crop region as you was creating it. However, now as I begin to create my crop region, you can see that I'm told the width and the height of that region. So if there's a specific size I need to crop to, I can now use those width and height readings as a guide. We've also made improvements to our Resize filter within Replay. In the previous versions of Replay, when you resized your video or image, whether you were going to a larger size or smaller size, it would use the same interpolation method, which was the bicubic interpolation. The problem with this is that the bicubic interpolation is not very efficient in reducing the size of a video. So to overcome this, we have changed the interpolation method used when you reduce the size of your video to the area interpolation. So from now on, when you reduce the size of the video, the area interpolation will automatically be used. However, if you do go back to resizing your video to a larger size, the bicubic interpolation will be used like before. Okay, so we're going to move on to our Annotations tab now. we've had some feedback from our users and we've implemented some improvements that I want to show you. The first improvement we made is to our locking feature of the annotations. We've now changed the behavior so that once an annotation is locked, the only way to unlock it is by selecting it with the right mouse button. The reason we did this is because previously, if you tried to draw an annotation over another annotation, when you used the left mouse button, you would select the original annotation, so you weren't able to create a new one on top of it. Now by locking it and only being able to select it using the right mouse button allows you to draw an annotation over one that is already there. We've also added a lock icon to the annotation once you've locked it, so it's nice and visible. Finally, we added the ability to render the annotations flattened on your video. This will give you a preview of how the annotations will appear once you've exported your video. We've also included this feature for when you go to the export tab, that it will automatically be shown in the render flattened version. I hope you enjoyed the update video, and as always, do check out our blog for a more detailed write-up of the new features within Replay. Until next time, take care.